Get rid of all these extra screens here. Call the meeting to order. Have a quorum, so I'll take a motion to approve the minutes on the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes and agenda.
Second.
Second, any further discussion? And none, all those in favor say aye. Rich.
Good morning.
Come on.
I gave you guys a little handout. AJ was kind of asking about what projects could be available for TIF. And I put some roadway stuff on there. It depends on the urgency of the roadway items and then what options we want to pick for any repairs. I've added 290th. The initial thrush project right now doesn't go north of 105, but I think that would be something that if we were going to do something sooner, we would add that into the current project right now. There's obviously 105 east that we've kind of talked about. That's not in probably in the 5-year program now, but it's in at least 5 years out. And Dogwood, Wheelerwood, these are other projects that, other asphalt roads we still have. I mean, we still have more roads, but it's just kind of an idea of how to prioritize some things. And on the bridge side, on the left-hand side, what you see is estimated costs to repair these. And these are more, there's probably one on there that's qualifies for bridge money. But because we don't have enough bridge money anyway, it could be difficult to even fund that one. And the rest of them are all small culvert type bridge things. What the existing structure is, what we would propose, and an estimated cost. And that's just kind of a quick kind of get caught up thing. But on that side of things, we look at roughly $2 million just to do some local work to repair some smaller culverts, some smaller bridges that don't qualify for bridge funding. That's just what we know of right now, aside from any culverts that are 4 foot and under diameter. We don't have that stuff in there. And like I said, on the roadway side, we've got options on repairs. And what I put in there was $14 million, but that was choosing the cheapest repairs with probably the shortest life cycle cost. And I know that we've got to look at, we do have to look at upfront costs when we do repairs, but we also want to take a look and examine long-term life cycle costs too. So, you can look at it a couple different ways. I added contingencies because we don't know what oil prices are going to do right now. And I know they've bumped back up again as far as asphalt goes, that we've got some asphalt projects in the letting. We don't know what those prices are going to be. I talked to some contractors and prices are going up. And it's going up with everything really, but so these are shot in the dark numbers. And so that 2 million for bridges and 14.5 for these roads. And we don't have to do all the roads, but these are things that we're looking at in the next 5 years that could use some work. So a total of 16.5 million.
You're looking at doing thrush north of 390.
Thrush will be from 390th north to 105. That's the project that we're using our STP money on right now. And that's with the money we had in our, I'll call our STP money. We're only using $500,000 of our STP money, and that put us 300 in the negative with that account. So we still have to come up with another $1 million of farm to market money just to do that project, just to get it's basically a 2-inch mill and fill is what it's going to be. Or because of the estimate, we could probably do a cold in place recycle. Well, when you do a cold in place recycle, you're going to cold in place about 4 inches of that material. And when you compact it, it's never compact as it was before. So now you're up an inch higher than the regular profile. When you add 3 inches of asphalt, now you're a total of 4 inches. Now we could go look and say, okay, well, if we're going to go up 4 inches of asphalt anyway, could we do 4 inches of concrete? And that opens the door again, as everybody's going to say, oh my gosh, not 4-inch concrete again, but with a different design, fibers, not so many joints, and the joints being sealed. I think those are the keys to making those work. Life cycle, we're already almost what are we, 15, almost 14, 13 years in the stuff we've got down now, and it's showing it's gonna last. Yeah, it's got its issues, but I mean, as far as wheel rutting, there's none of that. Yeah, there's cracking, there's some heaving, but they're still pretty durable pavements yet. So with the addition of fibers and what we've done in all of our research projects, we think the fibers are gonna give us more durability. So we don't make those decisions now, but when I got done saying, okay, if we do a 3-inch overlay on a cold in place, why can't we do a 4-inch overlay on what's there with concrete and look at the prices, longer life cycle cost per mile, or cost per mile per life cycle here are cheaper, but all things to consider before we really want to bite the bullet. But it's something for you guys to digest a little bit, and maybe we phase it. Maybe say, oh, well, this is how much money we're going to give you. That however you want to do it, or however you think we might do it. This is just kind of a gross outlook of the needs within the next couple of years.
That's just something we just gotta get to Dan Austin, maybe include some in our
Hmm.
urban renewal plan while we're
Right.
doing it. Is there anything here, are these kind of listed in priority, or is there anything listed
The
higher
some
than-
of them really haven't been listed in priority, but I know there's some out there as far as the culverts and stuff. We've got to get, and we've got some of these smaller ones. I can't remember that. Like there's one on Spruce, one on Raven. One of them's half width right now that we've got to do something with. And I've checked into, we did a lot of rail car pipe work in the past. They're getting as expensive as everything else. I mean, I was looking at a project in Mitchell County where I could put triple rail car pipe in. The smallest I have right now is 10-foot diameter, but you're looking at $17,000 a pipe, over $450 a foot. And that was to kind of get a larger drainage cross section through the pipe. But I could replace in-kind type structures for a third of the cost. But I'm getting the same drainage as so we can upscale some things and move some things around. But right now, in order to use railcar pipe, you got to have the right amount of depth to get them to fit. Otherwise, you're looking at different options.
Right.
And so a lot of these smaller ones, the DOT is now allowed a larger span precast box cover. We used to get maximum was a 12-foot span. Now we can get 14 and 16-foot spans. So now we've got some of these little 16-foot bridges that we can replace with a 16-foot box culvert and get them with a minimum height of 5 foot, which is probably what the normal bridges were anyway. So now we can take a bridge out, plop a box culvert in a similar size. And if we're lucky enough, we get them done in a week and a half by a contractor, and we can group some of these, probably these box culvert projects, make a package, because we're going to use local money and say, well, we got 6 of these locations. Let's bid them all as one project, see what kind of numbers we get.
Right.
But some of them are going to have to be done sooner rather than later. And I don't know, depending on funding and when we can do anything with TIF, we might have to do some of these without TIF and just use local money. So. Yeah. But I know there's those twin pipe on 480th east of Thrush. Well, according to the DOT traffic count, it's 5 vehicles a day. Doesn't seem like a high priority road. It's a pretty wide road, but those pipe are trash.
Right.
And you're looking at, $30,000 fix, but the pipe themselves are what's going to cost the most. Plus, they've got those drop down pipe in there that seem to be okay yet, and we're mostly concerned about what's under the road anyway. So a guy could just take the pipe that are underneath the road, undo the connection for the drop down and replace those pipe and use the old existing outlets yet. But until you get in there and start doing something, you never know.
Right.
But these are all just rough estimates, and I've hopefully estimated a little bit high, just so you got some contingency in there for what prices are going to do in the next couple of years. So it's a crapshoot, but it's an idea of what the needs can be for the county in the next 5 years, and that's a lot of money. Or, we can always, you hate to say it, but there are cheaper maintenance options, but they don't give us the
life.
I hate to say seal coat. There's other kinder terms other than seal coat, but they're similar. They're similar types of constructions, but they're going to give you maybe 10 years.
Right.
They don't improve the ride.
They just seals the
They
top
just
off
seal
to
the
hold
seal the
it
top
together,
off to hold it in.
basically.
Exactly.
It's
Okay.
still gonna be bumpy, dippy, and all
So,
that.
yeah. So anyway, that's the bad news there for everything else. was just a tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't get into any of, like I said, the federal aid bridge stuff that we have that we don't have money for either.
Yeah.
But hopefully there's ways that we can bail out, not bailed out, but there's potential funding available for the future. How competitive it is, we don't know yet. It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess on the bright side, fortunately, at the moment, we have a funding mechanism that can help.
Right.
Where other counties don't.
Yeah.
It's a lot to digest, and it makes a person sick looking at numbers, but we're not the only county facing.
I was gonna say, we've known for, since I got out, we've got a lot of bridges and culverts to deal with. Always have ongoing road maintenance.
It's not gonna end. You want it to, but it won't.
Yeah, it's. Well,
That's why we're here, I guess. We're here to maintain it.
it'll end for one group, but it'll be there for the next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys take that attitude, well, as long as it gets me 15 years, what do I? That's not responsible either.
No,
You want to get your best bang for your buck.
I think we've seen that the concrete roads are doing it.
We know a
Concrete
lot,
overlays are really doing pretty well.
we know a lot more now than we did before, and we know how to improve them. I think.
You think you have less heaving issues?
Yeah, I think
than
so.
we do now?
Yep, I think
Okay.
so. Honestly, I think we
I mean, I think that's kind of been our
that's
biggest
been
issue.
that's been the biggest issue. And then you look at some of the migrating panels after the quarter point joints, how the fibers would help. They keep everything tight.
Sometimes they are spread. a
Yeah.
little bit. I know.
Yep, and there's
They
nothing
kind
to
of-
tie it together.
They go back and forth a little bit.
Once they come apart, they don't go back together very well.
No,
They
I
just
mean, they never-
migrate.
yeah.
So I honestly think that we could do 4 inches again with the proper, fibers and I think we can make the joint spacing work. We've got enough research now out here that I think that it's doable. We'll just have to see.
All right. Is there anything else for Rich? Then?
I'll be gone Wednesday through Friday.
Yep.
On my phone.
Oh, did you ever get a joint meeting set up during the counties?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't.
I just was
Oh,
catching
yeah.
that email again and
God, I come back both counties with bad news. I don't know if I want to have it. No, I haven't scheduled one. I'll try to send something out there after. Maybe later this month or something.
sounds good. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Drainage. Guys all got to look at those.
Yep.
Make a motion to approve the drainage claims.
Motion to approve drainage claims.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carries. General claims.
What about, did Larry come through for the commissioner?
He's going to, his email address was cap sensitive. When I
Oh.
talked to him at church yesterday, I said, you got it, didn't you? No. Well, he got, so then I fired it
I've
again.
seen that.
Yeah,
I fired it to him again, so he got it yesterday afternoon and he's willing to do it, so.
okay,
But not, he's going to do the eminent domain compensation down here. He's not
Oh.
going to do.
He doesn't
okay,
Raise
because we really need that other
need it,
one so
yeah.
we can
The
get the.
3 that
meetings
I had
rolling.
bailed out on me. So
Okay.
anybody got any other ideas?
I had not, I used to thought maybe that's kind of didn't think
46,
about.
72, and 32.
Yeah, if you guys can come up with somebody this week, we can get the stuff rolling, so. This 46 has been sitting there and it just needs to be,
Where's that one at?
46.
Yeah.
It's up in the,
we did a project.
46
and
is out
it's
my
really-
way.
yeah. by
Out by
Chino and-
We-
East side of Silver Lake.
We get people that are not in those, right?
Mhm.
That's okay.
The only other one I could think of was Myron Lucas might do it.
Would you like me to get you the
You
assessment
might,
schedule for
yeah.
each of those?
That was my
so
other
you
one
know
on the
when
list that I
to
didn't
get?
get a chance to call because of all the things that went wrong.
You want to call me? You want me to?
Give him a call. He's down your way. I thought of him to be on the for the drainage.
Okay.
But I didn't get a chance to get back in touch with him. But yeah, my guys fell through, but I did get somebody for
Getting something off the list.
getting something off the list.
All right. So claims, claims, questions?
Motion to approve claims.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Both same sign, motion carries.
Apparently we're catching. up on
Reports?
payroll.
No reports. Payroll then. Okay.
Reports next.
And-
Yeah, it's not, it's just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take a motion to approve the- we need a payroll claims and motion then, is that right?
You don't need-
Yes, no?
Sure.
Take a motion for the payroll claims.
Motion to the payroll claims.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Both same sign, motion carried. Oh. Sheriff's report. Monthly report. And take a motion to approve the reports.
I'll make a motion to approve those reports.
Second.
Moving and second it, any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion. Payroll.
Nope.
Liquor.
Nope.
Okay, Iowa DOT purchase agreement, temporary easement for ADA.
Fixing.
So that cement out here, right?
Yeah, it's just an
Just a-
individual chunk.
10 foot this way and 6 going this way,
Right on the corner, yeah.
make it ADA.
I guess.
That's the way I read it.
Do they
There's a
wanna-
project coming through, so they're,
Yeah, they wanna,
Is it-
which that's a good idea to make it ADA.
Yep.
I don't think they have a choice on that.
They don't
Yeah,
either.
you don't.
Mm.
Because we gotta do the rest of them too.
Yeah, you gotta do any sidewalks, you gotta worry about ADA.
Just one. When you fix it,
One for us, one for,
two different copies then.
Yeah.
Okay.
A
So
motion to approve the DOT agreement for the ADA compliance on the sidewalk.
is there a second?
I'll second it.
Move to second, and any further discussion? None, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Just
next page. And then you gotta decide if you want compensation or not. It's $100.
Yeah, we need gas.
A little bit of grass here.
Mhm.
So, who has our copy?
Yeah, I'm going to sign one for us.
Okay.
And then, did you want yes or no? Yes?
Compensation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure,
so
we'll take
just that. Yep, just a little.
And if there's a mess, just cover
Things
it.
a little grassy or whatever. Okay. North Iowa Regional Housing Authority payment and lower of tax waiver request
This is something that comes through every
every
year.
year.
Yeah. I think I forwarded that to you.
Yep. Take a motion to approve the payment and lower of taxes for the North Iowa Regional Housing Authority.
I'll make that a motion.
So second,
I will second.
move and second it. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion will carry. We do have an appointment for County Eminent Domain
Yep.
Compensation Board.
So, yeah, he probably hasn't got the application back. Right?
We have
Okay, yeah.
The one for Chad, we gotta approve that, or did we already do
We
that?
approved that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
And
was
I got
thinking,
that back to.
we just saw the
her.
application, so. Okay. Okay, so maybe by next week we'll have that one. Then. Okay. Resolution, American Rescue Plan Act funds. What we got from Jackie there?
Okay, so that would be for the.
This is for,
Oh,
this is approval for this.
This is
you're looking for the
basically
lost
just to
funds, or-
say that we're gonna declare it,
Lost funds.
yeah,
Okay,
lost
resolution.
revenue.
Yep.
Yeah,
Allocated American Rescue Plan funds. Whereas on March 2021, the federal government established American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, ARPA fund, which includes coronavirus, state, local fiscal recovery funds to provide state, local, and tribal governments with the resources needed to respond to the pandemic and its economic effects. And whereas the U.S. Department of Treasury issued an interim final rule implementing program on May 10th, 2021, which includes replacing lost revenue to county governments. And whereas on January 6th, 2022, the treasurer issued final rules for the SLFRF program, including authorization for counties to allocate up to 10 million of their local SLFRF allocations to lost revenue spent on government services. Now, therefore, be it resolved, Worth County Board of Supervisors approve its total SLFRF allocations in the expected amount of $1,433,673 as lost revenue to spend on the government services. Hereby resolved by the Worth County Board of Supervisors the 7th day of March 2022. I will take a motion to approve the resolution.
I would like to discuss this.
Okay.
Jamie Cashman finally got a hold of me Thursday afternoon,
Yep.
because I left him a message about the state ARP funds that you wanted me to look into as far as the range went. And he gave me that update, and then while I was on the phone with him, I asked him what the official name of the premium pay is, and he says use premium pay for critical workers. I said, we're down the middle of the stream, we tabled it. And then I asked him about this, and he says, I'm telling counties not to do this. It's gonna cut out too many ways that might want to do this money down the road. And he said, for an example, one of the things you will wipe off the table is premium pay if you ever want to do it. So he says, I'm recommending counties don't do this. He said, the right way to do it is to do the same thing you're doing, do a resolution on every project, and then you just go in and fill in the amount of that project, and then as lost revenue to be spent on that particular project. Make sense? In other words, when you're doing that one out there, you do the $700,000 that we did, and that would be like a pipeline coming down from the water tower. And I guess my attitude on it is, even though we don't know whether we're gonna do premium pay or not, we tabled it till later, and this would take it off the table, and I don't think we should wipe it off the table yet, whether we do it or not. But he said the right way to do the ARP funds is to do a resolution on every project.
well, that's what this one is then.
Yep, that's what that one is, the second one.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I guess.
And it just happened to run across it when I was talking to Jamie about it, and I thought I'd better bring it to your attention, so.
Well, he's the man that would know. I mean, he's the one that's been doing all the info for everybody.
Yeah.
Which way to go with this stuff, so.
Yeah, it just happened. He said, he just said that the premium pay, as an example, you would eliminate that. You wouldn't be able to go back and do that if you do this. So I just thought I'd bring it to your attention.
Yeah. It's. Nobody wants to make a motion, I guess we'll just let that one down. And then we'll-
I just, either way, no matter how we do it, whether
Right.
it's that way or when we do a project, we want to make sure we get this spent the right way, not have to pay anything back or do anything
Absolutely.
improper. And that's when the whole time is to make sure we're doing it the right way.
Yep.
So I guess.
But he was aware of what,
But
the
then
other
you're
county had
limiting
done.
yourself.
What's
You're
that?
limiting yourself to the other way that we're supposed to do it then, if you're not taking any is lost revenue. So I don't even know if that qualifies or not.
This
well,
would
he
be-
said to me, he says, you do it as lost revenue. And you do the amount of the project, but you don't put in, you just put in the exact project that you're doing it on.
But you still call it lost revenue.
then you, yeah, he told me to still call it lost revenue, but if you want to check that out first,
Yeah. just skipping by.
make sure we get it done right.
Okay.
I just happened to run into this because he got back in touch
Yeah.
with me.
So what did he say on the Iowa?
You want to
stuff?
go there
No, on the Iowa stuff, yeah, I mean,
on the state?
Yeah. He's running up.
They do not have a range yet.
okay,
He says, we're just taking projects. He says, what do you have for a project in mind? And I says, okay, I'll tell you what I
how
got.
big you want?
Yeah, we have a conservation building that needs major repair. I said, we need a new conservation building. I said, we voted on it a few years back and it got turned down by the voters. I said, would that qualify? And he says, yeah. He says, you could put in, he said, you could go after state ARP
Funds.
and you could put it together with your federal ARP and go after conservation building. And he said, because of the pandemic and the extra use that you're getting in your parks and recreational areas, your facility won't keep up anymore. So therefore you're putting up a new building. Make sense? So yeah, there is no range on it. They're just looking for good projects.
Right. So
And-
they're gonna-
And that was one of the things that was in the, it had, it said conservation. It said, on one of my, right here on the email that you got. It said, on, impacting the county and the community in conservation, riverfront development, economic development. So I said, I'm going for the moon. I want a new building.
Well, if you can, and it just takes it off of taxation dollars
Right,
getting used for it, so why,
He asked for an example and I gave him one.
Right. That'd probably be ideal for those funds.
You could have a shed for that.
the same token, and
Yeah, that could be part of that too.
build it all into that.
No, I
somewhere.
mean, their shed, if they moved down
Oh.
to Kensett like they were going to.
We
that
just
Oh,
did
shed
put
would be
room for
there.
that, yeah,
For
make
that.
room for that.
And one of the comments he made was, he said, you can combine, he said, you can use both federal ARP and state. You could combine,
Right. Which is-
Well, then that would wipe out the next 700 anyway, so.
Depends on how much you can get from the state.
yeah, you just
I
gotta
mean,
go
They're
after it.
gonna rate this, they're probably gonna take the look and then rate these projects, and then they'll,
Yeah, we don't know if they're looking at $500,000 projects or $3 million projects. We don't know what's the state's got.
How do you whip up a building fast to know how much money it's gonna cost?
well, you can get
Well-
one- you can get one drawn up real quick.
Yeah, I just
Took take any longer than that to draw up a house, took about 2 weeks to get a house drawn up.
Well, I wonder if Jim still got
You should have the original.
the original, if you could go back and get it updated to
Well, it's
today's
engineer
pricing.
plan, so they're somewhere.
There's gotta be a set.
I've got copies of those.
because that was 1 what? 1.5 or
Or
4?
6 at the time,
At the time, so it'd be all of 2 right now.
And that
Yeah.
was.
And then the land.
and that was way
Depends
over.
on where you're gonna put it.
And we don't
even
have
it
to
was
go like
included.
that, we can make it more feasible for them down there and they look at it and go, hey, this is really in our price range, let's do it, it's
Well,
great.
Take that plan and say, well, we're gonna cut this, this is what we want the basic, send that, you get that figured up, send that down.
Because we had an EOC in that development design.
Oh,
That was the expensive part of
And
that. was
backup
the EOC,
for
and
you.
backup for me.
All you can do is get turned down.
But
But if they're looking,
you don't
if
try.
they're looking for stuff, you don't put anything in, you're not gonna get it.
Correct.
So that was the idea I came up with anyway. Was a conservation building. Because he said, yeah, that fits right in with the pandemic, the extra use, the facilities, you don't have the facilities to handle it.
What's the time frame on the state one? I guess I do. Don't have the email. Really wasn't one.
There
was it?
wasn't a time frame. They just said that this Ryan had got a hold of all the auditors and Jamie Cashman requested that I reach out to the auditors with this stuff.
Because you know how it is, the sooner a guy could get a project in there, because you know where the money's gonna go. If it isn't, it's gonna
Right.
go to,
Yep.
it's gonna go to Polk County, it's gonna go to the big counties.
Mhm.
Always does.
But he, yeah, but
They've
he,
always got projects to do.
They've always got projects.
If they can grab the free money, they'll take the free money.
and we may not, it's worth a try. If we can whip a building up, a reasonable building,
Yeah. Not out anything but trying.
you're not on anything by trying.
If you don't try, you're out.
Yep. So that was my idea on what he asked me and I told him what, I didn't know whether, you don't know if they're looking for $100,000, $200,000 projects or
2 million.
2 million.
Yeah.
So. But that's what I found out from him on that.
Talk to Jim, see if you've got some plans, see if you
Should be able to.
just go back to, get back to the basics on what they need.
But you said the EOC building was on that original.
So when it was originally conceptualized, we were still, EOC was still down in the basement of the treasurer's office. So we actually added EMA and EOC to that building, which up the price because it went from just an office building to a 24/7 facility. So there was quite a bit added. to that.
And shop.
And
I would think they'd want a good shop, a good meeting room, and the offices.
I think you could take the plans and really just not, you wouldn't change them a whole lot. You'd have something right there.
Some storage though too. They're using.
And storage, well, they got storage already.
But if
Not
you're
enough?
replacing that
You
other one,
replace that. and move
Okay, then
that.
whatever they've got here, or maybe a little more, is what we'd want to do.
There was naturalist storage as well that was built into that. So
But like you say, the EOC portion with the technology that would be into that, you know what, that's gonna be the most expensive portion.
And 24 hours a day.
right. Well, and that was a good side portion of the building too, was that EOC spot. So I think you could lift that. I talked to Jim on it, but I know we've got the plan still sitting around.
So is that something we want to pursue then, to have Jim see what if he can come up with some plans or whatever, and
I'd say yes,
what he'd need as far as space requirements?
doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt. Okay. So Melissa won't be on today. She was sick. She called in. Chris is now on. Department of discussion, I guess, to that. We'll get Jimmy on, you could discuss this.
Yeah.
So for 10 o'clock today, we do have the folks from Neapolitan going to be talking to us about the new possible website we're going to go to, or website company. And that'll just be a Zoom call. I think everybody got invitations to that. So that's the big thing here. I'll be at ISAC Spring School starting Wednesday, and then I think I'm actually presenting to you guys Friday. So if you guys are going to be there, you're going to have my smiling face in front of you for a little while. So
Didn't sign up. Forgot about it. Could go down and sign up today, but
other than that, I think that's, oh, and then I'm still trying to put together the meeting on the 14th, the Zoom meeting for the 365. I haven't got that finalized yet, so I don't know if that's going to go the 14th or not. So
Windows 11 update came on here. We're not supposed to do that, right? Okay.
not real for you guys. It's not that.
No, but I just
But yeah.
figured I'll just leave it off.
Yep.
I get rid of them.
Well, it just came this morning when I updated
Oh.
my computer to ask if I wanted to update to Windows 11, and I said, no, I declined it, so.
Like I said, it's stable. I've been running
Yeah.
it for a while now, but it's best.
Okay.
If it's working, why break it?
No, that's kind of what I figured. All right, anybody else? Sure.
Oh, yeah, I got a couple. I will be gone Thursday through Sunday, so Chief Deputy Luther will be in charge of my area. And then last week, I got a call from one of my people that bid our vehicles. I stopped down and talked to him. He advised me we need to get vehicles in now because they're gonna be freezing orders. I talked to my installer up in Minnesota, who said Dodge had already locked down all their orders, actually went back 9 months and canceled orders. So I did get bids together. I was gonna try and do 3 vehicles this year. Where the bids came in, I was 12,000 short. So I'm only gonna lock in on 2 Explorers for next year, which do fit into the budget as long as you guys are good with that. And I need to get locked in as soon as possible. So they came out with trade in right at 30,000 each. So,
What do you get rid of?
Explorers.
I fit my bill.
Yeah, but you can't give me what they trade in.
Who says that?
You wouldn't want them for what I,
Oh, okay.
they got 150 and 130,000.
Oh, shit, I got
Just broke
170.
in.
I got 170 on the one. Right.
You're not getting much there.
Okay, anybody else? All right. Supervisor, or boiler parts, okay, yeah, we all got that email.
you're okay with going ahead with it?
What else? Do
We
we
haven't
gotta
got
keep
any
the old
choice,
girl
do we?
limping along, don't we?
Supposed to help.
I figure that's a goal.
Will that help with some of the uneven heat we've been having in this?
Possibly.
Possibly, did he say?
It's these things right here, isn't it?
Yeah. It's something.
The way I read it, when I
Steam
read
The-
traps,
The
whatever.
thingies on the other side.
Yeah, it's a steam traps or
Mm.
whatever. That's,
Mhm.
yeah. Don't touch that valve.
Yeah.
Don't even tap on
Don't
it.
even look at it.
I'll be cooking again.
That hasn't been moved since 1940 something.
Tina and Joe told me not to touch them.
No, the boiler was put in the fifties, so it might have adjusted.
Oh.
Maybe a little bit, 50 or 51. whatever
Is
it
that
was.
new? Wow.
I think that's what Brian says when we were doing this pipe. I thought he said 1950 or 51 that was put in there. That's pretty amazing.
I did forward you guys a PowerPoint that we used, that did have some of that information in it from when we went around and did our meetings for the conservation building, so that's in your emails right now, so if you guys want to peruse that until we can get the other documents. But
No,
that
we
does
have-
have the floor plan on it.
We have no choice. Hopefully we went by until springtime, he said, shut the heat off and then you can do work on
It
it.
also raised down.
Yeah, that's what we did
Down.
last
Instead of
year.
shutting it down and having to worry about something on heat or
Yeah, we don't need that.
comes in a
Just
bigger
cross our
job.
fingers and.
You know, I'm sure it'll be a little bit more than just replacing the valves and so on.
I
Yeah,
gave an estimate in there, but I can't remember. what it
Yeah,
was
but
right
you never
now.
know when the next pipe breaks or when you're cranking them on.
yeah, give him the okay, I'd say, so he can get parts here,
Mhm.
get them locked in, because if they're available, the price will go up between now and then, otherwise they won't be
I'd go
available.
after them right now.
If you can get them, get them coming.
Holding her together.
So that's a motion.
Motion to approve the boiler repairs.
So a second,
I'll second it.
any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Both same sign, motion will carry. Okay, thank you. Now supervisor, please.
I just sat in on the IT meeting last Monday, and then we went to the WHW board meeting on Sandy's retirement. So that was,
Sad day.
yeah,
Sad day
that was
for
a sad day.
Hopefully she can move along and enjoy some retired life now, so.
Oh, and then I did, Mark Kroll called me in the middle of the week, so I did talk to him.
Oh, did I do? Okay, I had nothing outside of those two as well. Obviously, we did get a email from Will Reasoner. So we probably should look into having a Zoom meeting with him
This week.
for a session,
Yep,
some litigation, so
How do you guys want to do that?
what do your guys' schedules look like, I guess?
I'm busy Tuesday afternoon.
Probably be like, I would guess, we need 24 hour service, especially Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh, I'm busy Tuesday morning, Thursday morning, Tuesday afternoon. I got Wednesday available. That would
Try
work,
to do
right?
Wednesday,
We do Wednesday morning,
Wednesday.
early
morning?
Wednesday morning. I do have something in over about 11 to 1, so. We could be in and out here before, say 10. So try to do like a 9
if he's
o'clock.
available, yeah,
Should be do like a 9 o'clock and cover it, I would think.
sure.
9
Oh,
o'clock.
what do
Wednesday.
you? Sorry, I missed.
To have Zoom call with Will
Will.
Reasoner,
Well, okay.
if he's available.
Yeah, if
If-
not,
If not, like Thursday,
Thursday would work.
would you say? you had-
Thursday afternoon would work for me.
Okay,
Okay, I'm
if
good.
Wednesday morning, right away
Wednesday
doesn't
morning
work,
or
let's
Thursday
try it
afternoon.
Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
Whatever works for him. And just all be Zooms.
Yeah.
Other than that, I didn't have anything else.
With Mark, or you just want to talk to him on your own?
Just on our own.
Okay.
This week, and update us.
Yep.
Where the plans are. Okay, yeah, I had the same 2 meetings, Sandy, and then I also did have the Upper Cedar, Iowa Watershed District, just kind of went over some minutes, catching up on some things, and nothing major going on there, so. That's all I had, I guess, so. Okay, anything for next week's agenda items we need to add? I can think of right now. Oh, board. Today's,
Motion to adjourn.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion will carry. Thanks, everyone.